What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cafe and Views. Today we went to LaLaLand, Kind Coffee, and we got ourselves the French toast. Let's talk about the coffee shop. LaLaLand Coffee is on Montana Avenue. When you first get here, you can definitely tell that there's a lot of seating available. There's a lot of seating inside as well. They're really welcoming. Their menu is also pretty extensive. There's a lot to choose from in terms of unique and complex looking coffees. Since I got the French toast, there's about 6 other coffees that are a little bit abnormal that aren't within the norm, like a cappuccino or macchiato or just a regular cold brew. It's not quite near the beach, but it is maybe a mile or 2 inland, so it has like a different take on Santa Monica. But you could definitely still take this coffee and walk down the boardwalk and overall experience just a nice feeling while drinking the French toast coffee. The inside, it looks minimalistic, but they fill the space really well. There's a lot of couches. Their theme is predominantly yellow and white, and they have the aesthetic look. Their walls are filled with little things to make the coffee shop more welcoming. They do have some snacks as well, some drinks that you can get. For the overall vibe of the coffee, I'm gonna put this at about a 4 out of 5. Let's talk about acidity. So like you'd expect, this is a French toast coffee, so it's gonna be sugary and not sour at all. If you ever had a French toast with syrup on it, that's exactly what you're going to get, but it's not as intense. It's kind of spicy because of the cinnamon. It's also slightly chocolatey and cacao-y. If you were to eat a breakfast and enjoy a nice French toast with it, that's exactly what you're getting. You're gonna enjoy this coffee a lot more in the early mornings and in the early afternoons. You're not really gonna drink this coffee in the evenings because it's not gonna really provide that feeling. For acidity, I'm gonna put this at a 3 out of 5. Next up on the list is gonna be Aftertaste. So in the beginning of the coffee, it was slightly sweet, but it started becoming more and more sweet as the coffee went on. You are starting to get more of the flavors coming out. The more the syrup is coming out to be more prominent in aftertaste than in the beginning, and it overall does wet your mouth. It doesn't provide any of a dry feeling at all. So the syrupiness from the coffee and then the sweetness of it wets your mouth, and the overall creaminess of the coffee from the body just coats your mouth, provides a lingering flavor. The cinnamon doesn't dry it out at all, as you might think. One of the major lingering flavors that I'm getting is that cinnamon and the kind of syrup that makes it sweet. The coffee flavor is starting to die down a lot more in the aftertaste and when the coffee is out of your mouth, and then the syrup and the overall cinnamon is becoming more prominent. But the overall chemistry of the coffee doesn't change drastically. It does change slightly. For aftertaste, I'm gonna put this at a 2.5 out of 5. Next up is gonna be balance. I feel like this coffee does a really good job at being balanced. All the ingredients balance each other out to create that French toast aroma, that French toast smell, the overall creamy bodiness of the coffee, toning down the sweetness, and then the aroma being turned up. The balance is right there. Even in the aftertaste, when you're drinking the coffee and it's starting to die down a little bit, it's still being more balanced. So you're not really losing any of that flavor or aroma. You're slightly losing a body feeling, but not as quite. It still makes you feel like you're eating a French toast, but maybe the sugariness is not there. So maybe they went light on the syrup and you're still getting that bread and cinnamon feeling, but you're not really getting that syrupiness. And you're still able to figure out the ingredients that went into the coffee even at the end. You're able to figure out the cinnamon, the syrup, the sweetness, everything that makes a French toast, you're able to pick up in this coffee, so it's balanced the right way there. The only thing that really sticks out is the syrup and the cinnamon, but it needs to. The sweetness needs to be there, and the overall taste and aroma needs to be there, so those ingredients have to stick out. For balance, I'm gonna put this at a 4 out of 5. Let's talk about aroma. The aroma is real prominent. You're gonna get that real French toast smell and aroma. You're getting every single little bit as if you were to get from a French toast. You're getting the same exact little bits from it. Anything you can think of in terms of French toast aroma, that's exactly what you're gonna get in this coffee. You get that real cinnamon smell, almost as if you had the spice right in front of you. You're getting that bread feeling, you're getting the syrup feeling as well, in addition to it. Real welcoming and real pleasant, and it's inviting me for more. I love breakfast food, so pancakes and waffles are my favorites to get, and this coffee is making me want to go out and go and get breakfast in addition to this coffee. And you don't have to lean into it a lot to really get that aroma smell. It's real prominent from far away, but you're gonna get that real French toast aroma if you put your nose right up against it. And I'm getting that taste from it just by smelling the coffee. The coffee is tricking my mind into thinking that there's a French toast right in front of me. So when I'm smelling it, it's like if the French toast was right at the table and I was eating it and smelling it, it's probably not real freshness. So for aroma, I'm gonna put this at a 4.5 out of 5. Because this coffee resembles French toast and it's like you're eating it, You're gonna wanna drink this coffee when you're elevated, when you're overlooking the beach, when you're overlooking the city, when you're on a hike and you're on top of the mountain. That's exactly what this coffee is gonna be perfect for. It just overall brings your mood up a lot more than another coffee might before you start your run, or when you're done with the run and you're walking back up or you're walking back down, you're definitely gonna wanna try the French toast coffee. Now that we got the experience of the beach out the way, let's go back to the review. Let's talk about complexity. This coffee is really complex because it's the French toast, because of the success that it has in creating that French toast aroma and the French toast flavor, and then the overall look of the coffee, how it was different, how it had the cinnamon remnants in it, how it actually looked light enough to be a French toast, but then also dark enough to provide those crusty edges. So if overall the look was there in terms of achieving that French toast. So it does a real good job at being complex and creating that overall French toast feeling. And then the look is also different. The complexity of the coffee shop is there, so it looks different than other coffee shops. It looks more modern and open and spacious, and it has a lot of people that go here. The inside is also pretty welcoming and nice and different than the rest. You're able to pick up your coffee from the outside or stay inside and pick up your coffee there. It's not your typical caramel macchiato and cappuccino and macchiato type of coffee shop. It's different. More so goes against the norm. And then the taste, because I've never had a French toast type of coffee, it's also complex there and it's different and it's true to its nature in achieving that. So for complexity, I'm gonna put this at a 4.5 out of 5. Let's talk about flavor. Well, the flavor is not as intense as the aroma, but you can still get the sensation of the French toast when you're tasting it. The flavor is maybe 2 steps behind aroma, but it's not lower to the point of that you're not gonna enjoy the flavor. You're gonna enjoy it, but it's just not quite at the same level as aroma. You're tasting that cinnamon, the syrup, just the overall, whatever you're gonna taste in the French toast breakfast, that's what you're gonna taste in this coffee, but just a little bit slightly toned down. Flavors are kind of balancing out to create the exact feeling, but the syrup might be slightly more prominent because when you're having a French toast, usually you're gonna get that syrup and that sweetness that overtakes everything, but everything else kind of besides that balances out, but nothing is too over the top. And it's creating memories as you're drinking the coffee, so when you leave and next time you have French toast or pancakes or syrup, it's gonna bring you to that same memory and experience. And it's gonna make you wanna come back to this place and either get the same coffee or get a different coffee. Aroma is not getting enhanced by the flavor. It's quite the opposite, because the aroma is so high up that it can't possibly get any higher without the flavor being more prominent, but the flavor is getting enhanced by the aroma. The cinnamonness is real prominent. It's kind of like as if you were to take a spoonful of cinnamon. That's kind of what you're getting because of the remnants. So the coffee is creating that creamy and syrupy flavor. For flavor, I'm gonna put this at a 3 out of 5. Let's talk about forgiveness. I'm not gonna forgive anything in this coffee besides the flavor, because everything is almost perfect. Flavor could be a little bit better. It could be a little bit more sweet like the aroma is to really bring out that true French toast type of sensation, but it does the job. You still get that sensation, but just not as quite and not perfectly to the T. Positives do outweigh the negatives. There's maybe 1, maybe 2 negatives in this coffee: aftertaste and the flavor, but everything else, all other 8 characteristics uplift the coffee and provide it to be really great. For forgiveness, because I don't have to forgive much, I'm gonna put this at a 4 out of 5. So let's talk about body. So the coffee is more on the soda side. The feeling of the syrup and the cinnamon is making it feel a bit more creamy. So it's kind of tricking you as if the coffee is a creamy and a milkshake type of coffee, but in reality, it's more on the soda side. But you are getting a similar feeling as if you were to have the French toast in your mouth. You're getting that cinnamon remnants on your tongue. You're getting the overall weight and texture of the actual French toast when it's on your mouth. So providing that weight feeling, and it's providing the flavor and the aroma. So, and then the syrup is also coating your tongue and overall providing a nice coating that stays around for a longer time. And you're getting creaminess from the syrup and the fluffiness from the coffee because it is creamy, and then the syrup feeling because of the sweetness. The weight is there, but it doesn't dissipate quickly as well. It doesn't go away kind of like a French toast wouldn't if you have it in your mouth, and the flavor and the aroma is gonna stick around without, it's only gonna go away when you actually wash it out with something. And the same thing with this coffee, it's gonna stick around unless you wash it out with food or with water or something else. So for body, I'm gonna put this at a 4.5 out of 5. I'm not gonna say this coffee is versatile because it's different, because it's a French toast, unique. The aroma's there, the flavor, the body, the consistency, it's all there. So you're gonna kind of wanna reserve this coffee for a special occasion. If it's your first time in Santa Monica or your first time in LaLaLand Coffee, get this coffee and try it out, but you're not really gonna make this coffee into your daily because it's special, because it's unique, and you want to reserve this for when you're walking down the street or the boardwalk or near the beach and being in Santa Monica, as opposed to sitting down and just relaxing. But if you do choose to, you could drink this every day. You could make this into your evening drink and have the drink when you're relaxing, but I wouldn't really pick this up in the morning or afternoon if you're going to work, because you're going to be drinking this coffee, because you're going to be thinking about experiences outside of work. For versatility, I'm going to put this at a 2.5 out of 5. Let's talk about sweetness. So it's not over the top sweet like a French toast might be. It's lower to the middle point that I like, but it is real powerful because it is creating that flavor and the aroma without being over the top sweet as a French toast or a caramel coffee might be. But it maintains that sweetness from the beginning to the end as well. Because it's not as sweet, it's not going to wash out the flavor. The sweetness is not going to overtake the coffee and just change the overall taste of it. The sweetness overall tones down the flavor from being over the top, and then the aroma brings it back up to the middle point. For sweetness, I'm going to put this at a 3.5 out of 5. The French toast from LaLaLand Coffee got a 36 out of 50 or a 72% out of 100. If this coffee improves on upping the flavor and upping the aftertaste, it could definitely get bumped up to an 80 or a 40 out of 50. Thank you so much for watching Cafe and Views, where we went to LaLaLand and we got ourselves the French toast. And make sure you come to this cafe to try out the unique tasting coffees, and make sure you tune in next time to see where we're going next. Peace.